everybody's having a really good week this week. So this week I thought let us figure out and see if we can make a hedgehog pop-up card. So here it is. It says hi there. And I just decided to do some hedgehogs in 3 different boxes, which I think is really cute. And then you open it up, guys, and look. Isn't he cute? It says looking sharp, and I just love how he moves. Isn't that just the cutest? And then of course on the back we have a place where we can write a message, and I just did another little hedgehog down there. And yeah, so let's go ahead and let's head over to Design Space so we can get this started. So I'll meet you over there. Okay guys, now that we're over here at Design Space, I have listed here all the images that you're going to be needing today to make this project. So once you go gather those together and we can go ahead and get started. So first things first, let's go ahead and work on our card base. So let's go to shapes. We're going to get this square here. Once we get that square, we're going to resize it to 10.5 by 6.5. Then we're going to go to shapes, get the score line. We're going to make that score line 6.5 inches long. And then we can just put it on our card base and then grab them both and then go up to the top and hit align and center. And then it's in the middle, and now we can hit attach. So we have that piece done. Then we're going to be using 4 pretty pieces of paper, which measures 5 by 6.25. We can go ahead and put those on top of our card. Once we have that, we can group it all, and then we can just go ahead and move it to the side. Now our first piece we're going to be working on is this little guy right here. So if you got him, go ahead and bring him up. And what we can do with him is go over to our layers, and we're not going to need the back of him. So let's go over to layers, and we can right click on that piece, and then we can hit delete. Then once we do that, let's go ahead and right click and hit duplicate. Now once we have him duplicated, what we can do is ungroup this, and we're going to take this piece right here, and we're going to hit contour, and we're going to get rid of his feet because we got rid of the back piece. We have a hole here. Now then let's right click and duplicate, and once we duplicate him, let's go down to contour, and on contour what we're going to do is hide everything except for the nose piece. Then we can go and change it to whatever color you would like his nose to be. So then on this piece we need to highlight it, go into contour, and hide it so we have a place to put our piece on top. We put everything back on top of him. Let's go to shapes and get a score line. Now we're going to make sure our head is all the way up to the top as far as we can get it. And so that means that our X will be on 0, and then our Y will be on 0.028. Then we're going to take the score line, and we are going to make it 1.694. And then we are going to place that score line, the X on 1.33, and then our Y on 0.256. And then we're just going to grab it and hit attach. Then once we have that done, we can start moving everything back on top and grab it all and then hit group. Headpiece, we want it to be 2.66, and it should have changed your height to 1.951. And then we have this piece completed, so we can go ahead and move him to the side. Now on this little guy, we're going to go ahead and go ungroup everything. So highlight him and hit ungroup. And then we can get rid of everything, his white and the pink of his head. And then on this piece, once we have it highlighted, we're going to hit contour, hit hide everything, and then we want just his, we really just need one foot. Okay? Then once we have his foot, let's go ahead and work on this piece. So let's go to shapes and get this piece right here, the U-shaped tag. Let's rotate it 180 degrees, and then let's resize it to width and 0.515 and then the height at 0.778. And then we're going to place the X on 0.17 and then our Y on 0.196. And then let's take our little hand and we're going to resize that hand to 0.68 by 0.569. And then we're going to rotate it 166.1. We're going to place the X at 0.028 and then the Y at 0. Then we're going to grab them both and go down to the bottom and we're going to hit weld. Then we should have a little hand. And then let's resize this to the width to 0.6 and the height to 0.829. Now we're going to right click and duplicate. So we'll have two hands. Okay, and then we can go ahead and you can group them together and move those aside. Work on our body, which is going to be this little fella here. Okay, we need to resize him 5.504 in width, and it should have changed your height to 5.535. Okay, then we're going to go up to offset and we are going to change it to 0.222 and then we're going to hit apply. Now let's go ahead and click on this piece here and go down to contour and we're going to hide everything. So you should just have this piece that looks like this. Now we can take this guy here and highlight it and then go down to contour. And then we're going to get rid of his eyes, his nose, his arms, his legs, and the bow tie. And so we should have this left right here. If for some reason you don't want to make your circle look edgy like this, you could definitely get a circle and size it to 6.056, and that's just about the size of what this would be, and you could just use a regular circle. So let's go ahead and move these little porcupine things out of the way. We are going to make sure your X and your Y is on 0 for your brown piece. Then we are going to go to shapes. We're going to get a score line. We are going to make that score line 5.167 in height. We're going to put the X at 3.051 and the Y at 0.375, which will be right here down the middle. Then we can right click, duplicate. We're going to adjust that score line to 2.135 in height. We're going to rotate it 139 degrees. The X we're going to place on 1.656 and the Y at 0.69. Then we're going to right click, duplicate. We're going to adjust that line to 3.33 in height. We're going to rotate it 136.58 degrees. We're going to place the X at 0.773 and then the Y at 1.414. Then let's right click, duplicate. We're going to adjust that line to 2.078. We're going to rotate that line 56.62 degrees. The X we are going to place on 1.331 and the Y at 3.831. Then let's right click, duplicate, adjust that line to 1.416. We're going to rotate it 63.8 degrees. The X we're going to place on 1.792 and the Y on 4.622. Then let's go ahead and right click, duplicate. We're going to adjust that line to 1.987 in height. We're going to rotate it 221.45 degrees. The X we're going to place at 3.06 and the Y at 0.803. Then let's right click, duplicate. We're going to adjust that line to 2.965 in height. We're going to rotate it 223.42 degrees. The X we're going to place at 3.075 and then our Y at 1.665. Then let's right click, duplicate. We're going to adjust that line to 1.835 in height. We're going to rotate it 303.38 degrees. The X we're going to place at 3.054 and our Y at 3.831. Then let's right click, duplicate. We're going to adjust that line in height at 1.202. We're going to rotate it 296.2 degrees. The X we're going to place at 3.076 and the Y at 4.623. Then we have all of our lines complete. So let's grab it all and hit attach. Have it all, and then we can hit group. And then we have that piece. So we can send this to the back. Put our little head here and our two little arms. Now let's get this fox piece here. Now once we have this guy right here, let's go over to our layers panel, and what we're going to do is we can just ungroup everything. That would be faster, and then grab the cream colored piece, and then we're going to grab the rest of this and just hit delete. Then once we have this piece, let's go ahead and resize it. We're going to resize it to 5.68 by 2.431. Then let's go to shapes and get a square. And let's make that square 4.125 by 4.125. Brown piece here, we're going to put the X at 0 and then the Y at 0.944. And then our box, we want to position it at the X 0.726 and then the Y at 0. Then once you have that position, we can grab it all and hit slice. And then we can get rid of these pieces, this piece, and on this piece, let's go to contour and get rid of this square, triangle, and triangle. So you should be left just with this piece right here. Let's go ahead and resize this piece to 2.264 and in height to 1.305. And then let's go to shapes and get a square. And we are going to make that square .389 by 2. And we're going to position our square, the X and the Y, at 0. Now our little brown piece, we want to position the X at 0.032 and then our Y at 1.472. And then let's grab them both and then hit slice. And then we should have this piece. What we're going to be making is hair that goes center like so. Okay? There is no right or wrong way to do this, guys. For this piece, that's what we're going to be using for the hair. So let's get him. Get rid of everything except for this grayish looking piece. So we can just ungroup it and get rid of everything else. And then I'm going to resize mine and make it 5.991 by 2.858. You can resize it to whatever size you would like. And why I say this is because every time I have made this, I have made the hair differently. See how this one is different than this one, and this one I'm going to make is going to be different too. So I'm just going to put my square, go to shapes, and let's get a square, shapes and squares. This square is a 2x2 square. I am just picking a spot and I'm grabbing them both and I'm going to hit slice. And then I have this piece right here. I'm cool with that. I like that. So what I'm going to do is just line this up and make it as long as my little triangle piece here. And if I like that, which I do, I'm just going to grab them both and hit weld. And now I have this cute piece of hair. But I'm going to quickly show you another way you can do it too if you want. So say you like this piece, you can adjust this piece, you can make it like, okay, I want it like that. So let's get that piece. Then you can, I don't know, take another square. I'm just going to turn this upside down. I'm going to grab it both right there like that. I'm going to hit slice. I'm going to take this piece, rotate it up. So I kind of like that. So what I'm going to do is grab them both and hit weld. And then I have this little piece. And then once I have that, I just line my triangle up. We'll grab them both and hit weld. And then we have this piece that would look like that. Which I think that's cute too. There's no wrong way, guys. So just be creative and make him some cute little funky hair. So once we have those pieces done, we can move him aside and we have the hair done. So what do we have left? We have the legs. And this is going to be our band-aids. So let's get this piece. And what we can do with this is go into contour. And we're going to get rid of everything here. So we'll hit hide it all. Now, I don't want this band-aid. We don't want that band-aid. So let's click the whole one because that's the one we'll need. And then click this one because we won't need this one, and then X out of it. So what we have here is this like little tit on the end. We don't need that. So let's go to shapes and get a square. Okay, so what I need you to do is size your band-aid to 3.276 by 4.02. And we are going to place the X and the Y as far as we can on 0, which it looks like for my band-aid, my X is at 0.028 and my Y is at 0. My square is just a 2 by 2 square. Okay, we are going to place that. We're going to rotate it first at 11.03. We're going to place the X at 2.985 and then the Y at 2.485. And then we're going to grab them both and hit slice. And then what we should have left is a perfect little piece without that tit on it. Is resize the foot or to 0.822 and then the height to 0.823. Then once we resize his foot, I went up and hit flipped. I did for his little paw here. I just went to shapes, got this oval, and made it as small as I would like. And then I went to shapes and got a heart, and then just made the heart to whatever size you would like it. Just be creative here. So once you have your 4 ovals in your heart, what we can do is group it together and then right click, duplicate, and then we want to flip and then flip horizontal. Okay guys, so these are all the pieces that we are going to need to make this card. And then any additional pieces you would like to add to the front or the inside. And let us not forget to go up to save and save our project and name it. So let's get those pieces cut out and then we'll meet back at the table. I'll see you there. Okay guys, since we're at the table, what we can do is go ahead and work our score line and glue our pretty paper onto our card. So let's do that. All right, there we go. Got that put together. So we can get our body of our hedgehog. Him right there. We're gonna need this piece, the head, and the round piece for the center. Anything to make the hedgehog, okay? So what I have learned is putting these on and the centerpiece on first before we fold it really works out best. So I'm going to go ahead and put this piece on and we can go ahead and do that right now. Okay, what I've also have learned is if you have any going over a score line, if you're using vinyl or paper, move it because it tends to come up a little. And so like if you can see on this one right here, it's on a score line. I'm just going to scooch it over just a little. Then what I do if I use vinyl is give it a good rub down. Then we can take our centerpiece here and put him in the center. And then again, just give it a good rub. Okay, so we can put him aside and let's do our face. So let's go ahead and do that and get that done. Now we can go ahead and work the score line on our head. I'm going to wait to put my hair on just because of the folds, and I want to make sure I place it. So we're done with this piece. Now we can work on our fold of our little hedgehog. So first thing we're going to do is work the middle. So let's do that. And then once we have that work, we can take this fold and turn it like so, and we're gonna fold it over like this. So when we open it up, this is going to be a fold down like so. Okay, now let's do the same thing with the bottom score line. Let's work it. Okay, so this one is also going to fold down like so. Looking good. Now for this longest score lines, if we have, this is our top, and the one with the two closest score lines together, that's the bottom of our hedgehog. So we need to fold this, and we're gonna work our top second score line. So let's do that. And it is kind of thick, so you gotta work it. Take your time. So it should be popping up like so, which is perfect. It's looking very nice. Now let's go down and fold this in half, and you can put this back out straight. So I have it like this. So I have the top folded in half, and the bottom back out. Now our last score line is this one right here. Okay, now let's just work it both ways. Now, once you have it worked, we can open it up. What I do is, from the top, I kind of put my finger in the crease of this, for the hedgehog, and then kind of push it in. So I have this V pointing out right here. And then the same thing here. I'll push this in. If it's not folding easy, you need to work it just a little bit more. And then I'm going to start moving everything in. And what we're going to do is fold in half. So I put my finger in here, push it, and then give it a good rub down. Okay? Then when you open it, it should open just like so. So we should have a valley fold, a mountain fold, a mountain fold, and a valley fold. So I'm going to show you again just in case. Put your finger on the top one. And if it's not pushing in like this, work your score line some more. Then we're going to grab this side, push this down because it's a valley, and then we'll be able to grab both and then give it a working. Okay? And there is our little guy. The only place we are going to put glue is in this section, on this side and on this side. So if you want, you can draw a little line like so. And the same on this side. Okay. So in this section and this section, and what I use is kind of my circle as the guide. So, and that I'm not going to go any further than my lines I made here for my glue. Okay. And that is the only place we are putting glue or tape, whatever you're using. I think glue works better personally. And if you can do your card either way. You can do him this way or this way. I'm going this way this week on him. And then you just line it up in the center. Remember, the bigger score lines is your top of your card. And you're going to line everything up on the score lines. Okay. And then fold this over. And then we're going to take glue and put it in our section right here. Then we're going to flip the other side and do the same thing. Make sure you give your card time to dry. Then what we can do is fold our card. Give them a little push like so. And then we can fold it up. And there we have it. Isn't that cute? So we can take our head now. And he can go anywhere in our score line at the top. And then for my hair, what I usually do is go like that. Find the center and give it a little fold over. There we go. So I think I'm going to go ahead and put my hair on now. For our head, you can place it anywhere you would like in this fold. And he's going to be a valley fold. And just place a little glue on each side of the score line for him. So I think about right there is where I'm gonna put mine. And there we have it. Isn't that cute? So your arms can go anywhere you would like. I tend to put mine right here on this inside of for the hands, and down here on the legs, the feet. So what I'm gonna do is go ahead and finish decorating my card, and then I'll meet back up here with everybody and we'll share what we got. Okay guys, so this is what I come up with. This says be cool, be edgy, be you. I just love how he moves. And again, I just want to show you guys where I glue the feet on. You just want to make sure that it's not too high, that it's hitting your face, but you glue them in the last V down here. And then on the back, we have a place where we can write a message. And this is just, I just love how it turned out, guys. Hey, do you know what the hedgehog said before it ran away into the wild? I want to live on the edge. Oh, there you have it, guys. I just want to say thank you so much for crafting with me, and I'll see you next time, and I hope you have a good week. Bye.